Why, hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Hardcore Heroes. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
I totally did not set the overlays up right.
No.
Malachi and Van Helsing, would you kill your cams? All right, and Malachi, turn your camera on. Yeah, perfect.
There we go.
So, what have you guys been up to in this last week? Anything interesting?
I picked up a game called Duskers on Steam. It's like this, I guess it's a roguelite because it's not turn-based, but it's, you're kind of, it's meant to be immersion. You are the player, or you are the character, but you're on a ship and you control a number of drones and you go salvaging throughout the galaxy, trying to like board these ships that are getting increasingly more unstable.
I heard of
Trying to
that.
loot stuff from them. Yeah, get scrap, not die to their defenses, and try and just eke out survival from looting all the other ships in the galaxy.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's terrifying.
Nice. That sounds quite cool.
How is it
What's the
terrifying?
gameplay mechanic of that? Like, what do you do in the game?
You have like a top-down view of all your drones on the ship, and you control one drone at a time with arrow keys, and you can also control all the others with console commands. And you just send them around the ship, and the whole goal is like stuff will kill you really fast. So the goal is to never see any enemies. You want to like find them with motion sensors and stuff, and lure them to other rooms, then go loot them up, and never fight anything. And then I just got all of my shit eaten by a swarm or whatever, just a bunch of bug things. Oh god, it was horrible. They just like came out of vents, and I lost 3 drones in a few seconds. I was like, oh no.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's the same kind of roguelike difficulty where I scream bullshit and quit after a couple of hours.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Very nice.
I've not really done anything. I've been off work most of this week, studying.
Yeah, studying. When's that test?
2 weeks today.
2 weeks? All right. Keep
Yeah.
cramming those books.
Yeah, I could probably do with a bit more of cramming, but you know, I've never been one to study that much.
I never really learned to study until like my last couple of years at the university at college. I never needed to, so I never learned study habits.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah.
Yep. How about you, Croak, Greg?
Well, Croak's been doing mostly just plotting and planning. Let's see. Outside of streaming some Final Fantasy yesterday, what have I been doing? I went and got some personal training for my knees because I have old basketball injuries, and I gotta tell you, God, my legs are out of shape. Oh, I hurt in ways. I remember hurting like this back when I used to run 16s until I just couldn't run 16s anymore. But ooh boy, they kicking my ass.
For those of us that don't know what a 16 is,
Okay, so you know there's the length of the basketball court and the width of the basketball court. When you run lines, you run the length of the basketball court to each line. Free throw line, half court, free throw line, full court. 16s, you run the width of the court from sideline to sideline. And you touch each line 16 times. And you have to do it in under 50 seconds.
Under
and that
15
is
seconds.
that
50
is
seconds.
one like rep of a 16, right?
Oh my
Is
God.
16 back and forth. And you
Sounds
usually
awful.
run those until someone throws up. I've never seen an entire team run multiple sets of those in under 50 seconds.
that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a fun time.
Oh, it's not. It's a terrible time. But if you do that, you will be able to press the entire game.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, I have been playing Total War. Attila.
Yeah.
And that's
I heard you have a
don't
bit of
know.
an addiction there.
yeah.
Oh hey, Dicey with Death got canceled. I guess that's an all-day, all-night stream.
Yep. I can't play Destiny with Death. Let's just play Attila. Hey, you know what? As long as we're playing Attila, let's just stream it for 30 hours. Yeah. I
How many games have you like won and ended?
won.
Right. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Total War for you.
Yeah, it took me like 50-something hours to get through the first one, including a bit where, to get the final level of championship, you have to have this one building built in your capital.
Yeah.
But my capital was a town, not a city, so I couldn't build that building because it wasn't a city. And
So
there's
you
no
just-
way to switch your capital. The only way to
You
switch your capital
switch your
is
capital, but in order to win, you have to build something in your capital.
that you can't build.
What did you do? Did you just let someone sack it?
Well, so at first I started just abandoning my capital and like hoping it would just move to another city, to a city, and it didn't. and it didn't, and it became problematic. I was literally going to lose my entire empire. So I loaded a previous save, and someone found online a way where you can go into like a registry file and just change the location of your capital from one place to another.
Damn.
And that's the only way to do it, other than just like sacking your own cities. It's the worst. I hate
Could you
creative
sack your own
assembly.
city? Like, is that a mechanic that Attila supports? You just send in the army and kill the capital?
There's an abandon button. You can like abandon your city, take some wealth, and everyone just flees it, and it raises the entire territory.
Yeah.
But damn you, creative assembly. Your game is fucking addicting and amazing, and you just there's a couple of bugs, man. Some of them are important bugs. Fix it.
Don't they have a new Total War coming out soon?
Warhammer
Yes, Warhammer.
comes out in 3 days.
Oh,
you can play it this time.
which kind of Warhammer? Is it the
Fantasy.
Space Marine kind or the like
Fantasy.
orcs?
Orcs. Fantasy.
You can play it now.
I am.
See, last week you said you weren't, and now look at you.
You know, I wasn't, but I've been playing Total War like every day. And every day there's like 10 or 15 people that say, "Are you gonna play the new Warhammer? Are you gonna play the new
exactly,
Warhammer?"
yeah.
And
It
after a
looks
certain
great.
point, you're just like, "Fine."
Warhammer Fantasy is an interesting lore.
Yeah, I like it.
I think you'll enjoy that.
40k is better, but
I haven't ever done anything Warhammer related.
Yeah.
The closest I've ever gotten to Warhammer is listening to other people talk about Warhammer.
I think the nice part about fantasy is nobody knows anything about fantasy. So you go in with no expectations.
yeah. There's undead. Orcs.
I'm not sure about flying units. I think that's going to be a little lame.
Hey, it's a different kind of game now.
Yeah, but Total War with dragons flying around the battlefields? I don't know.
I could see that being tough. That would be an interesting mechanic because you'd have to like have 3D like you have people on your ground that you're controlling, and then you need like a layer on the air so that you could control exactly where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a
It's like-
difficult
like-
design problem.
Like StarCraft, right?
Yeah. But
I imagine like, there's only 4 races at launch, so I imagine a lot of that time probably went in to try and balance everything out.
Yeah, I think they've had a big problems trying to balance out the magic and things like that as well. So
there's
they've
magic
probably
too.
gone to a long time. Yeah, there's wizards.
Oh, yeah.
And
There's one that like literally stomps units with a giant foot that you just summon into existence.
But it's all. I mean, assuming it's balanced, Neil, it can only add to the game.
No. Say that to Civilization 5 expansions. Balanced.
Civ 5 is a bad game. I'm sorry.
I liked Civ 5
is
vanilla,
just
but
atrocious.
the 2 expansions for Civ 5, oh man, I hated those.
No, I'm a
Civ
Civilization addict. Like I love Civilization. I've played more Civilization 3 and Civilization 4 than probably any other game
Yeah,
I've
they are great.
right? And like all those Civ 4 expansions, Civ 5 is not fun. I don't know what, I can't point to any one thing about it, but I put 15 or 20 hours in Civ 5 and just quit. I couldn't handle it anymore.
It's better now, though. It's been improved, I think, with patches and stuff like that. But still, I agree with you that 3 and 4 were much better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, I'm not looking forward to the magic and the flying. I think there's such a thing as too many bells and whistles that could distract from the game.
No.
I think it's possible.
It's better because the thing with Total War is I don't know about Attila specifically because I haven't played that, but a lot of the different nations end up being very, very like 90% the same as everyone else.
Thank fucking God, man. Fucking Attila, every race, every faction has their like entire own tech tree, all
Oh, really?
their own buildings, all their own everything. All the units are fucking different. And by the time you
okay.
finish one playthrough, you're like, okay, I finally understand after 50 hours what the Frankish units are like. I'm gonna go play as the Huns now. Oh my God, nothing's the same. They don't even have cities. They're fucking nomads.
That's quite cool then.
Oh, it's really cool because you can like each army is its own city and within it. So if you lose an army, you're actually losing an army and all the tech and all the cities behind that. It's really fucking cool. It's
Nice.
amazing. And Age of Charlemagne, one of the expansions, one of the DLCs, is super fucking awesome too.
Charlemagne,
And-
nice.
If Hardcore Heroes goes well today and I don't have anything to plan immediately after that, then I'm just gonna play Attila after this.
What do you mean if you don't have anything immediately to plan?
Well, you know, if you guys get yourself in a pickle and there's something that clearly needs to be planned for next week, then
Okay.
I'll stick around and plan that.
I.e., this heist goes really, really badly and Croak dies.
Speaking of that heist, should we do the Ratberg thing before then or after?
I mean, I got like 4 days right until my
Let's do
my kids.
do the heist
Like, I
first.
feel like basically this heist is my character arc in Redport, right? when we're done with that, like the storytelling is going to turn over to you guys a little bit, unless you don't have anything to do, and then I'll think of something.
Well, let's not jump the gun here.
Yeah.
There are events working in the background as well that may need your attention, and you can
Always.
engage them or ignore them as you please.
He's really just trying to get us driven out of town before they finish.
That makes me nervous. That means Neil is clearly planned for this. Croak could die today. I'm very, very scared.
About 3 people for too long.
Yeah.
It's time to throw you on the bonfire.
It'll be fine, guys. It'll be fine. Anyway, let's actually hop into game.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
who wants to recap us?
Nick, do you want? I'm behind in experience, but I did it last week. And
How much experience do you have total?
total? I'm at 11,264.
Well, you are behind. So,
Oh, very British of you. Yes. What is your experience? You're behind.
That's fine.
that is significantly less than me.
I'm a firm believer in that it's how you use your experience. Anyways, so God, what did we do last week? Oh yeah, so last week the party had narrowly escaped death at the hands of a poor, ill-conceived ogre encounter, in which Van took a spear to the gut and nearly got one shot. Malachi was lucky not to be targeted by something and killed outright. And after getting back to town, Croak, going over the party's head a little bit, went up to a tax collector. I don't remember who you talked to, but you talked to someone. You showed them the platinum that you had lifted from the ogre's chest in the midst of the battle that we nearly died for.
You weren't supposed to fight him. Just distract him. That's on you.
It's all good. I'm not bitter. But, no, so we arranged for a meeting with the Baron, in which Croak projected himself as the leader of the party and arranged for about 20 men to go out with us and attack the ogres and reclaim taxes that have been stolen. The party marched out. After a long encounter with the ogres that took something like an hour, the party narrowly survived, lost about 8 people plus one of the knights. And when going back to town, Van tried to cause a bit of a stir and get the party to talk a little bit before the Knighthood. But the Baron rejected that out of hand because he was a poopy McBitch face. Croak and Van made up a little while later. The party went down to Clydesdale and Croak got himself knighted. And then he
made up, didn't you? Okay.
I swapped some spells with the wizard in Hillsborough as well.
Oh yeah. Malachi talked to the wizard in Hillsborough. Spent some time with them in the keep. Got to live a nice life of luxury for about a week there before copying some spells down in his spellbook. Party returned to Clydesdale. Croak got himself knighted, and then nearly died back on the road to Redport when the party was assailed by 3 griffins, but saved the party by throwing a tarp over the horses, causing 2 of them to fly off and only one of them to actually dive bomb at us. Party heroically slaughtered the griffin and then heroically plucked all of its feathers.
We got the carriage as well.
We bought a carriage, and Malachi bought 2 guard dogs while in Clydesdale.
Oh, yeah.
Wolf and Bear.
Oh, have we shown Wolf and Bear?
I don't know.
Oh, you have
Nicholas
art
showed.
of Wolf and Bear, don't you?
What's
Oh,
on
he
you
has
say?
pictures. And
You
Bear
say
is
art.
such a fluffy puppy.
I pasted some pictures together.
Right. Where can we find those?
They're on
On
Reddit.
the subreddit.
There we go.
That's right. I was going to ask you what breed they were, but then I thought I'm just going to take the initiative.
There you go.
I like it.
But while you're getting that up, I can just wrap up the
Yeah.
this week. We got back to Redport and immediately heard the town crier frantically asking for volunteers to go back to Ratburg. Apparently something had come in the night and started slaughtering townsfolk. So I guess our hope that the thing had just fucked off forever did not come to fruition. And assuming Croak does not die in the first hour of the session today, we will hopefully go back and heroically slaughter the were-rat of Ratburg.
Okay, so let's go back to your recap here a little bit. You said Croak and Van made up. I swear I heard made out. And I was very confused. It's like, I don't think that's quite how it worked. I almost died.
Oh,
Okay.
God. That'd be a hell of a slip of the tongue, though.
Yeah. Croak wouldn't be expecting that either.
No.
Slip of the tongue.
All right.
I got you. I saw the slip of the tongue. That was funny.
Good.
So, You guys are in Redport, our lovely little
Yes.
hometown for the time being. And as you get back to your inn, there is a message waiting for you downstairs with the innkeeper.
Okay.
He comes over to you, Croak, and gives you a stiff and kind of awkward, maybe unsure bow, and says, Sir, there's been a message left for you.
Oh, well, thank you. Please, read it to us.
I wish to see you at your earliest convenience. You know who.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you keeping that for us. Thank you very much, mister. I assume our rooms are still ready for us?
Yes, Croak. He says a little
Thank you.
awkwardly.
Don't
I like
worry.
pat
We're
him on
still,
the head and like go up to our rooms.
Ben, just don't worry. We're still getting used to it too.
But he is a knight, right? Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna act so unknightly. All right. I can only
What's up?
assume that's Boren, and I wanted to meet him anyway. So I'm gonna take my 2 pounds of Griffin down, and Malachi, do you want this here Griffin head as a trophy? I know that you slung this thing down.
No, I think the memory is quite fine.
Excellent. And I take the Griffin head as well, and I'll just head out to Boren's.
oh, Neil. Van will take it off your hands if you don't want to lug it around. But otherwise, Neil, where do we keep the carriage and everything? Like, do we just put it up in the stables or something?
There is appropriate carriage parking that one of the grooms here at the inn can take care of for you.
Okay. And Jeeves
Alright,
looks
cool.
after all that for us.
Yeah, we'll just wrap all that cash into your monthly expenses.
Okay.
We had already kind of dealt with that a little bit.
Yeah,
when
Nick
we
is
bought
paying
it,
for
right?
the carriage and dogs and horses.
Yeah.
And then somebody took the extra expenses into their monthly allotment.
Malachi
10,
did.
10 extra for each horse, 5 for each dog.
Right. And also, you're paying a monthly stipend for the driver.
Yeah, 1 gold a month.
1 gold.
A month?
Yep.
Makes you
That
wonder
was
how it
the price
costs.
you said. It was low when you said it, but we didn't argue.
Yeah.
How does it cost 10 gold to feed a horse, but 1 gold to feed a man?
Because people care more
Horses
don't
about
carry
horses
stuff
than they
every
do about people.
Yeah, it's true.
Horses
I care,
are valuable assets. A person
I care far more
fucking-
about the horses than Jeeves. I tell him that, Jeeves. You make sure that horse is alright. I don't want you losing another one on us.
Oh
Me
shit, we have to buy
losing
another one. That's right.
Yeah.
Excuse me? Alright.
Yeah.
Oh god. That was 75 gold too, and we just immediately rolled a Griffin Encounter.
Yeah.
We actually already rolled the Griffin Encounter and then bought horses.
Didn't you ask us something
Is it
like,
Neil?
do you guys buy horses
Did
or
you
something?
guys get horses in town?
Yeah, what time of day is it, Neil, when we get back?
I think this is late afternoon.
Alright, I shall go to the inn and study. Do I have a spell that I'm working on or not?
I don't see it written down on my sheet anywhere, so no.
Okay, then I will learn levitate.
And that is 2nd level.
Yep,
And what is your chance to learn?
75%.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. Alright, and then I assume, Croak, you don't want me to come with you to Boren.
I kind of shake my head, like indicating not right now.
Alright.
Okay. So, Croak, you head down to Borum's Emporium.
Real quick, Van, you said you wanted the head of the Griffin?
Yeah, he offers to take it off you. Like, if you're heading out, I mean, you don't need to carry a giant Griffin head on your back. It probably isn't.
Well, I'm gonna sell it unless you want it for something.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't need a Griffin head for anything.
Okay, excellent. Yes, so I head to Boren's.
Okay. You come down to Borum's Emporium. You walk in, and who do you see to the left of your door but your handy-dandy girlfriend from earlier?
I give her a big wink and a smile, say, seems that I had some fun while I was gone. What were you up to?
Work, but now that you're back, maybe we can play?
Absolutely, that was my thought exactly. Tell me, when do you get off tonight?
Whenever you come around.
Well, excellent. I'm around now. I got some business here with your buddy, and I kind of point to the, I'm assuming like spindly, underfed guy that runs the shop. And I say, when I'm done here, why don't we go out and have a jaunt around the town?
She raises her eyebrows at you.
I smile, and I just I flash with the pearly croak whites, and then I walk over to. I don't even think I got this guy's name. I just have him written down as guy who runs shop.
I think that's it. Yep. As you turn to walk away, there's a whistling sound and then a loud whap on your ass. As you make your way.
I playfully jump, and then just keep walking.
All right.
I walk up to this guy and I say, Mr. I never got your name.
That's very funny, sir. I think Boren's waiting for you upstairs.
Oh, yes, Boren. I do remember he wanted to talk with me. Upstairs, I'm allowed up. Excellent. See here, I pull out 2 pounds of down feathers from a griffin and this giant head, and I say, these aren't nearly as valuable as my previous possessions, but these are exotic and quite strange. I'm wondering if perhaps the shop might have use for these?
I just do sales. Boren deals with acquisitions.
All right. Well, I'll leave these here for you to examine, and I'll go have a chat with him. And I just leave this giant griffin head on the counter and walk upstairs.
Mound of feathers and a griffin's head is just stuck there.
I want to do 2 things as I walk up the stairs. I want to figure out where this light's coming from, because this is lit, but there's no candles anywhere. So I'm just going to kind of take a look around as I walk up the stairs and try to determine what in the hell is causing the light. And I'm going to examine each stair as I walk up. I'm going to put my full weight on it and listen for creaks and other things, and just generally observe the upstairs.
It seems that the light on the ground floor is coming from the ceiling. Once you get up the stairs and start looking down, you notice that there's faint shadows underneath people, but it looks like the entire ceiling is illuminating downward.
Interesting. He has a magic ceiling. Okay, very cool. I'm wondering, Croak as a character is wondering if it ever turns off. If he's got a clapper or something that turns off his ceiling. So I make note of that. And I walk slowly up the stairs, taking my time. I kind of put my full weight on each stair, listening for creaks. I keep an eye out for... I guess I just look around to see what's upstairs as I make my way slowly and try to find a good route up this way.
Should have opened up my map. You get up to the top of the stairs, which is along the left side of the wall and goes all the way to the back of the shop. And there is a... is there a door there? Is it wide open? I spaced out and did not open my map. Here we go. You get to the top of the staircase, and there's a door to your right. The top of the staircase goes to a wall, door on the right side.
Okay. Nothing else up here?
No, it's just a staircase to a dead end with a landing and a door.
Okay, I take a good look around and head to the door. And I'll give it a slight rap, just like a... I can't really knock and be heard, but I rap on the door and kind of wait politely.
Okay. You hear a doorway opening somewhere else, and then you hear the heavy footsteps coming towards you, and then the door opens. Standing before you is Boren's other soldier, Jolene. I don't know if you've met her before. You have. She's about 5'7".
I've stalked her.
Yeah, she's about 5'7", 140 pounds. She wears splint mail and has a steel longsword on one hip and a steel short sword on the other hip.
Yep, she's the dual wielder.
Yeah. She leads you down a hallway that runs parallel to the staircase. There's a door on your left, which she ignores, and then there's a door in front of you at the end of a small hallway. which is already open. And she leads you into what appears to be the office. Now, from the downstairs, you had seen that there are 2 windows on the 2nd floor. You're now in the room where you can see out these windows into the main harbor just beyond them.
So I want to take a look as I walk into this room. Can I see the street from the windows up here?
Not from your position at the back of the room or the front of the room. If you were next to the windows, you could probably see the street. From here, you can just see the harbor and the ships kind of bobbing out in the water.
Okay. Okay.
To your left, immediately to your left, is a small table that has various alcoholic beverages on it. To the right is a large bookshelf that's just pressed against the wall directly to your right, because you're kind of coming along the right side of the wall anyway. In the back center of the room, just before the windows, is a desk, behind which is seated Borin, and to the kind of on the left side of the wall, opposite the bookshelf, is a large round table with a few chairs about it. And Jolene goes and takes a seat at one of those. You also notice as you walk into the middle of the room that there's a chest against the same wall that has the bookshelf next to the desk that Borin's sitting behind.
Okay.
He runs his fingers together and goes, "Well, Croaky, my boy, how you doing?"
Well, quite well. I had a bit of an adventure I'm sure you may have heard about since I left.
Yeah,
Wasn't quite expecting it to be as eventful as it was, but I took full advantage of it.
That's great. Can I get you a drink? Julie, see that our guest has everything he needs. Please, grab a chair and sit down. We have some wonderful things to discuss. So good to see you again.
I pull up a chair, making a very concerted effort to make sure my suspicion doesn't show on my face, because there's a complete change in attitude from this guy.
A little bit, yeah. So he waits for Jolene to bring you a drink and for you to be comfortable and says, "Croak, my boy, I am so proud of you. You have come such a long way since we first met a few weeks back, and I think it really shows."
Well, I mean, you just got to know me is all. I've been this good at what I do for a long time. I tried to tell you that, but actions, it appears, do speak quite much louder than words.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't have said that better myself. And, there are a few more actions that we could be taking together for our mutual benefit if we are to be doing business together. I have a bit of a plan here.
Please go on. I am always interested in the plans of others.
He gets up and starts pacing back and forth beside the windows, pausing for a little while, then puts his hands on the windows and looks out over the harbor and says, "This harbor is my home, and the goods that flow through here are my lifeblood. Now, there are certain people, besides myself, who have influence over these actions. One of them is this pesky harbor master. He has been cracking down on free trade, and he has been causing trouble amongst the local population. Now, were this the olden days, one would simply just find out that he slipped off the port one night and hit his head and drowned. But in the modern age, with Lord Jacob here, God rest him, God save him, or rest him, or something, that's just not the elegant solution no more. There will be problems with our old ways. But there are new ways to have come up. You see, once upon a time, many, many months ago, a young woman, well, not that young anymore, a wet nurse, came upon hard times. The wealthy family she served didn't pay her nearly what she was worth, and when her family took ill, she had to resort to terrible, terrible things to make ends meet. She pilfered just a few pieces of silver from her masters. I found her because out of the kindness of my heart, I offered to buy this fairly tarnished and worthless silver because I didn't want to see the poor girl's family die. I barely made any money on the deal, but I did it out of the kindness of my heart. Unfortunately, the young lady didn't quite make the next rendezvous, and turns out she was caught red-handed, silver in her blouse. And, well, she's been imprisoned for some time now. Now, the young lady's employers happen to be Admiral Orion Brighthand, the admiral here in Redport, who has the ear of Lord Redwing and quite a bit of say over the comings and goings of the port. Now, if Admiral Brighthand were to say that the harbor master needed to be reappointed or removed, well, that would surely free him up from us. And that's where you and Aona, the wet nurse, come into play. You see, Admiral Brighthand's young son is quite fond of the wet nurse, as you can imagine, as boys often are. And I think we have a wonderful situation here where we can get Admiral Brighthand's attention and remove this pesky problem all in one smooth and elegant blow. But to do that, we need Aona. The boy is quite fond of her, you see, and will willingly follow her wherever she goes. But she's currently locked up.
So if I'm following you correctly, Mr. Borean, we're going to have myself, the best thief here in town, spring this young woman, and have her in turn kidnap the young son of the Admiral, and in exchange for his safe return, she will return, the Admiral will dismiss this harbor master for you.
Yes, that's the gist of it. I can handle
I see two issues a little bit. First and foremost, as always, helping your business is helping my business, and in a roundabout way, I see benefit in this. But it is an awful risk to be freeing such a personally distasteful person from an admiral's dungeon. What immediate benefit could myself and my men see for this?
Well, there can of course be a handler's fee that may apply. I'm sure you will walk away with a pretty penny or two to go with it. But more than that, I think there's a certain respect that will be grown between the two of us if we can work this deal together. And I think that you are the perfect candidate for this, Kel Croak, because Admiral Brighthand is throwing a ball in a couple of weeks at his estate, where his dungeon is. And who better to join him there at his ball than the hero of the hour, Croak, the returner of taxes. Now, I happen to have a friend who knows the Admiral in a slight way, and I can get your name on that party invite list. +2, if you need.
Who indeed is better than a Mr. Croak to go and spread cheer at a party? I agree. This is a good time indeed to go and spring the woman. I get that.
And we have a map, floor plan of the whole place.
Even
the
better.
dungeons are not too far from the ballroom. There's a single guard on the door, but I'm sure a man of your wit can find a way past him, one way or another.
A single guard? Yes, a single guard does not mean much to one such as Croak. I believe I can do this for you. Now, I will need one more assurance. In fact, I like your plan quite a bit, but I see a position of weakness in it.
Oh?
Once we have freed this woman, she is well known to the Admiral and his family and his staff. She is well known as a traitor and a thief. How exactly is she going to be kidnapping this young child for us?
Well, rescuing her, this poor damsel in distress, is your wheelhouse for here today. Getting the child and making the deal, I can do that on my own. I just need a way to get the young lady back.
I can respect professional secrets. Believe me, I have a fair share of my own. I just want to know that I'm doing this for not charity. I don't believe in charity cases, even if this poor woman was wrongfully accused of just swiping a silver piece here and there to feed her family. I want to make sure we get our full value out of this woman.
We have as I said, a contact within the Bright Hand household. A former co-worker, you might call it, of Iona. Well, this woman can easily make sure the young boy is out and about on the grounds, and one of my men can have Iona out and about on the grounds, and the two see each other across the yard. The boy's eyes light up, he runs to her, she picks her up in her arms. Oh, look, there's a couple of horses here, let's go for a ride. And before you know it, the boy's happily in our custody, munching on some sweets, sitting next to his best friend. Then a well-placed message arrives at the door, and I think the Admiral here would be a reasonable fellow. No one would like to hear that their sole child has been kidnapped.
Oh, very, very understandable. It would make him seem weak and well, incompetent, as it were, to not keep his own child safe. The ways of politics make sense like that. It would be uncouth to...
Did I mention Admiral Brighthand's wife is Baron Redshield's sister? It would not do for Baron Redshield's nephew to have been snatched out from underneath the Admiral's nose.
It would be even worse indeed. No, I am completely on board with this plan, you see. I do wonder how long this poor child breastfed to be so attached to his wet nurse at the age where he can run to her arms. But be that as it may, I am none to talk about the perversities of other people. Consider it a deal.
Excellent, excellent. I believe the party is on the full moon. There should be an invite arriving for you at the Hobgoblin's Head in a few days.
Excellent. I will be much looking forward to it. Oh, while I'm here, you may have heard of my adventures out collecting taxes. We also had the opportunity to slay a griffin out on the plains. I brought with me a trophy of the kill, a large head that could adorn a mantle, and 2 pounds of the softest griffin down that plucked freshly from the bird itself.
Is it
Perhaps
here?
You could find a buyer for these things?
Absolutely. Is it downstairs?
Indeed. I left it with your spindly little man to look through.
Come on, Jolene. Let's take a look. He and Jolene get up and head downstairs, looks over the griffin head, seems pleased by it. He offers you 50 gold for it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Does he buy the feathers?
Yes, he offers to buy the pound, 2 gold per pound of feathers. So 2 pounds of feathers, 4 gold.
Okay, I'll take that. 54 gold.
All right.
That's more gold than we got for saving the taxes.
Yeah.
But you got a knighthood.
We literally saved a town's
We do
taxes.
get a knighthood.
Got fuck all for slaying like 8 ogres. We kill 1 griffin, we make 50 gold out of it.
It's alright. I'm coming for that dwarf in charge of that city. Baron Wiley Reed.
That guy.
Yeah.
Hey man, a knighthood is valuable stuff. The knighthood was the reward. The 50 gold was to keep the plebs happy.
Oh, so I'm a pleb now, am I?
I think you are to the dwarf.
I mean, that's why we're coming for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. All right.
So for the rest of the day, I take Zinli out on the town. That's
sure.
my plan.
She protests and she's got to wait till sundown.
Oh, well,
She was
said-
being flirty
okay.
earlier, and then when it
we were
comes
being
to
flirty.
actually-
Okay, then we wait till sundown.
All right. Yeah. You can go out on the town at sundown. party?
Basically, I'm gonna fly the Knighthood around. We're gonna like go to the nice places in town. We're gonna, if there's a really special restaurant floating on the water, we're gonna do that. I'm showing the perks of being with Croak, right? It's nice and sweet to be on my side.
I
right?
see. Would you make me a charisma check, Mr. Croak?
Yes, I can. That's a success.
All right. Very nice. Okay. You have a lovely evening with Zenly? Zinli. You have a lovely evening with Zinli. You show her all over the town. And you make it back to your hotel. You're in very, very late that night, if not the next morning. But the rest of the party, you have anything in particular you want to do?
Van wants to check the harbor for ships, see if he recognizes any of the ships. And aside from that, I've got nothing.
Not until the next day.
Yeah, Van, you recognize one of the ships here has its home port in Shirebrook. It's just a standard trading ship, nothing really noteworthy about it, but you do recognize one of the Shire...
I guess to be more specific, I am looking out to see if Malachi's father ever returns to Redport.
With your mithril scimitar?
I don't know. I highly doubt he's going to bring that. But I did offer to cure disease on him, or whatever would remove that. I get a spell that can remove charms. I highly doubt I'm going to get the scimitar at this point, though.
No sign of Malachi's father.
Okay.
Malachi, did you ever see
like when I was a kid? No, not tonight. I'm just going to study tonight. I'm going to speak to Cithaden tomorrow.
Cool. Let's roll into the next day then. Party reconvenes downstairs at the Hobgoblin's head.
Greg, is Croak nursing a hangover?
I don't know.
You come down with Zinli.
Yes.
Alright, so you guys see Kel Croak, the recently knighted, slightly overweight peasant, walking downstairs with a dwarf whose armor and weapons are jingling about her.
So, Croak, is this the reward for being knighted by a dwarf?
Oh, no. This is the reward for being a very charismatic and charming person. You met Zinli before.
Yeah, I think briefly. So, great to see you again.
Mr. Zinli, this here is my other companion, Van Helsing. I don't believe you've had the pleasure of meeting him yet.
Yeah, Van stands up and gives a very polite bow and says, "It's my pleasure. Croak has told me a lot about you."
Oh, he did. What did Croak say?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, he did. What did Croak say?
He said your beauty could be matched by no other. I did not believe it at the time, but there is some truth to his words.
Well, he does have a way with his tongue.
I do, don't I?
Oh dear.
Well, I have work to do. See you boys later. She gives you another pat on the ass with the flat of her battle axe and walks out.
The perks of knighthood. Sir Croak, Kel Croak.
They are many and abundant, yes.
Well, abundant, certainly.
So, what's the two of you doing, let's say, about the time of the full moon?
Well, hopefully not turning into a werewolf.
Or a were-rat.
Were-rat would be more specific. Has there been a full moon since that happened, Neil?
Yes, there was.
Okay, so
since the first time you went to Ratburg? Yeah.
Yeah, I just, because we would have changed then if that were the case.
Yeah. We did take the, Wolfbane.
Yeah, you had the ability.
Got hit.
Oh, wait, Van didn't even get injured, so he wouldn't be one of the good ones.
But I did, and I gobbled up some Wolfbane.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I've been invited to a party of a Mr. Admiral of this here town on the full moon. I should have an invitation +2 coming sometime today. I was wondering if you two might be interested in joining me for some revelry and relaxation after such a harrowing encounter with ogres and harpies and griffins and hobgoblins?
A party? I mean, perhaps I will encounter a fellow young female cleric of cheese.
Perhaps you may. You are, after all, a worshipper of the deity of appearances. I am sure that putting an appearance such as this would be right up your alley.
It's possible, and if not, if I drink enough, there will definitely be one there.
Cheers to that, mate.
Croak, would you not care to bring your dwarf friend rather than one of us?
I have a feeling she may be busy about the time of the full moon.
Yeah, well, the invitation's going. I suppose I don't have much else to do. How long away is the full moon?
Today is Sunday the 13th. The full moon is Wednesday the 23rd. So 10 days.
10 days.
Tell me, should we go to Rapberg in the meantime? The town crier did speak of it yesterday. They're in desperate need of help. I don't like to leave a job unfinished.
I agree with you. Leaving things unfinished can be a nasty habit of ours, but I have business to attend to within the week here. I believe in about 4 days. 4 days. I'm getting enough.
How far away is Rapberg?
And after that, perhaps we could go visit before the party is through. I also fear that if we return to Ratburg, it may be in our best interest to get some magical, mithril, silver, otherwise potent weapons against this rat beast that we encountered. I do not wish to feel so helpless as I did before. I am only down to 3 silver arrows left.
That is a fair point. Neil, how far away is Rapberg?
I think it's the better part of a day.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I have things to attend to in town over the coming days. Perhaps, Van, you could secure the equipment we need for our quest.
Yes. Croak, you're my sugar daddy. Perhaps you could come and help me out with that.
No pretense anymore.
I can find some time through the day to help acquire some silver weapons, yes.
Thank you, sir. Van gives a quick bow.
Okay, well, actually, as much as I like the idea of you two groveling at me, no. I like stop you, and I'm like, oh no, Mr. Van, there's no need for my friends to kneel and deal with the, there's a word for it. I don't have the best words, but all of the trivialities of being a knight are unneeded between the 3 of us.
Very well. Then we shall go as friends and secure the weapons we need to return to Rapberg.
Excellent.
As the party starts to break up, I want to scoot up to Croak and ask him. So, Croak, this party, does that mean the plan's off?
Oh, no. Plan is a go for this week. Be prepared.
When?
4 days from now, we're gonna be getting to it.
You remind me that morning.
I will.
All right.
3 days. 3 days.
3 days. 3 days from now.
See, Croak, I've got some business to attend to with the local wizard.
He's always feeding the dogs under the table. Like, if they're not allowed on the couch, when he's around, they're on the couch, right? They don't heel when they walk, right? That's Croak, right? Bear's face. Like, he's such a fluffy puppy.
All right. Great. Just remember, these are killing machines.
So when it comes to the dogs, you know how, like, when you own a dog with a family, there's one person that's like the master, right? He's the one in charge. The dogs obey him first. They toe the line. They do the rules correctly. I feel like that's Malachi, right?
Well, I hope so.
But then there's that one person that just spoils the dogs rotten. He's always feeding the dogs under the table. Like, if they're not allowed on the couch, when he's around, they're on the couch, right? They don't heel when they walk, right? That's Croak, right?
Okay. Spoiling the dog.
Spoils the crap out of these dogs.
Okay. So yeah, I'll head off to Citadel. once we finished eating breakfast.
Sure. Why don't we hop right over to Sithlinden's place?
All right. So there's a knock on the door.
You hear a "come in" from inside.
All right. So I creak open the door, poke my head in. Sithliden, I've returned.
Yes. He looks you up and down. Malachi, right?
That's right. I helped you organize your spiders a few days ago.
Yes.
You spoke to my
was
former master in Shirebrook.
Right, Rohana.
That's correct. Yes.
Right. Strange woman.
She is certainly different.
Well, you humans, you're all so adorable.
Well, you're not so typical yourself, at least around here.
So, what brings you here on this fine day?
Well, it was a while ago that we first spoke, but I have grown to enjoy living in Redport and can see myself staying here for a short while, at least a few months. I was hoping to entertain my mind with some challenges, and I thought maybe you would be the man to give me such challenges. Perhaps I could help you run your store.
Yes, I could use a spare hand. I suppose you'll be wanting something more than to provide free labor for me.
Well, it would be preferable.
But not needed?
No. Needed, indeed. Perhaps it wouldn't cost you anything, but perhaps you could share with me some of your knowledge. I'd be happy to share anything that I know that you have not yet come across, although I am sure that this is a small list.
Well, how about we make a simple deal? On a human time scale, of course.
Yes, that would be great.
Every month that you assist my store, I will grant you access to one of the spells in my book.
A month is a long time.
Is it?
It is quite, yes. I think a month is around, what?
A 12th of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live for 50 years. It's a significant portion of my entire life.
Well, a single spell is a significant portion of... is a significant investment or reward.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll stick around for a couple of weeks, and you just see how you feel about me after that. Maybe you'll decide that I have more uses than first meets the eye.
Sounds lovely. And you said you're 50 years old?
No. I'm only young. I'm a young man, aged 21.
And you're out of diapers already.
That's a good joke.
I can't even remember when I was 21.
I'm sure it was many centuries ago.
4.5.
The things you must know, the things you've seen. Have you always lived in Redport?
No. I come from far away. Well, not that far, but... You know, you'd be surprised.
Yeah?
Humans with your bright eyes, thinking the world's all sparkly and new, and there's things to be discovered everywhere. I tell you, after your 80th year, it's all the same. Everybody's the same, and everything's the same. There are no surprises in life.
I'd always thought the long lives of elves to be a blessing, but perhaps it is a curse. I wake every day with the renewed vigor of a short life, see the beauty in the world. It's certainly not grey and dull, as the world you seem to describe.
No, but... Well... That's a story for another time.
Okay.
Okay. So you can work in a shop, and we'll see how it goes after a few weeks.
Yeah, I spend time studying or assisting people if they come in.
Do you arrange to be able to take a few days off at some point if you need to? Like if you need to run out of town for...
Well, I mean, I'm working for free, so I figure that I can just let it go when I please. Neil, does he... I think you said he mainly sells spell components. But is there anything particular of interest in the shop that I get a look at?
What would you mean by particularly
Magical
features?
items.
You don't see any magical items about.
Okay.
At least not on your first day.
All right. So I mean, I'll maybe spend like 4 or 5 hours there, and then head out to find the dogs and take them for a walk, and then see if I can find Croak and Van.
Is there anything you guys are wanting to do tonight in particular?
You can't actually find the dogs because they're walking with me and Van to the shop.
Yeah.
Like I put them on leashes and walked them through town on the way to the shop.
But it's been like 4 or 5 hours by the time I leave, so
Maybe.
they might be back. They might be back by then.
Croak, you mentioned at one point that you wanted to like be able to see what magical items are in Boren's office from outside.
I do.
Van offered to do that for you because we are investigating Boren. Like before people go, oh, Van's getting into the thieving business. We are still investigating this guy, and oh yeah, we could know. Like this would be tactical information. What kind of magical items he has lying about. But we could still do that tonight if your character's looking to do that.
Sure.
Okay. But yeah, we go to the shop. Blacksmith, I assume?
I think we need to change a lot of silver first, actually, because I only have 46 pieces of silver. I don't think that's enough to build a broadsword, a scimitar, and like lots of arrows.
That's true. I have 61, but yeah, I think I have 10 silver arrows already.
If you want silver things, you can give him gold and he can send someone out to exchange the silver for you and all that stuff. We don't have to have you guys looking for components for the blacksmith.
Okay.
So when we walk in, I'm going to introduce myself to the blacksmith as Kale Croak, Ogre Slayer, and hero of Wake County.
You're the one.
Yes, indeed. This here is my man Van Helsing, cleric of Chiefs.
A pleasure.
We're going to be spending some time in town here to rest up from our misadventures out in Wake County. But it will be soon nigh on our agenda to deal with this lycanthrope that is taking hold in Ratburg. We find ourselves in need of some weapons that will do substantial damage to it, and we have learned that silver, weapons with a core of silver will hurt and slay the beast. I was hoping that perhaps you would be willing to create these weapons for such a noble cause.
First, let me say it's an honor to have your patronage, Kel Croak. Why do you say there are lycanthropes out there?
Indeed, there are. We encountered one briefly before I had to make my way to Wake County. We thought it had been driven off with magic, but it seems it is time to slay this beast permanently.
Well, I can make whatever you need.
Excellent. I shall be needing one of these, and I pull out my broadsword. A scimitar for Mr. Van.
Croak, Kel Croak, I do not believe a scimitar will be necessary. I have some magic at my disposal that will allow me to create a magical weapon that should be able to combat this beast.
As you wish. So no scimitar then, just the broadsword, and we'll call it 40 silver arrows.
Flight or sheath?
We've ruled that I can't use sheath, so flight for me.
You get the short bow. Right.
What about you, Van?
Sheath, I have a longbow.
20 flight and 20 sheath, if you will. And I guess I'm trying to play this up as like, give me a discount, yeah?
Right.
Neil, I want to make sure that I establish this. I asked the cleric in town about how you would fight lycanthropes. Did he mention anything about magical weapons working? Because if not, Van wouldn't know that, and he'd ask for the silver scimitar.
Oh, I must add something. Silver bullets. We need 10 silver bullets. For a sling, mounds of silver about that size.
Of course. Yeah, you would know by now that magic weapons work.
Okay.
Against lycanthropes. So that's that. Sling bullets. How many of those?
10.
Plus. All right, and he'll give you a discount.
trying to play on his sense of country and pride.
Yeah, and you're
all
also
that
making a
stuff.
very large purchase. So he'll give
Yeah.
you a 10% discount on everything, bringing it down to 108 gold.
Oh, perfect. I pay him in gold. I have that.
Fantastic. Ooh, I should say that it will take a little while to make. The broadsword, before you scratch off your cash, these things have to, the sword has to be made from scratch.
I tell him to go ahead and work on the arrows and the slings first, and then when those are done, work on the broadsword, because at the very minimum, we'll want those.
Okay, so the arrows you can make at 10 per day. You wanted 40, so in 4 days, the arrows will be ready.
You can make it 30 because I already have 10 silver arrows. So, yeah, I already have 10, so we can cut that down to 30 total.
All right, well then also take back...
Sorry, I forgot to mention, I just noticed that on my character sheet.
Take back 6 gold, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, take back 6 gold. Oops, that's not right. And then the broadsword will take more than a short sword, less than a long sword, 25 days.
Okay. That's fine. I still want that made, just in case. But I'll be getting that, I guess, after our encounter with the lycanthrope.
Sure.
Ideally, I'll be the only one in melee.
Would mithril work? Yeah.
Don't know.
Don't know. Okay.
Any chance those sling bullets just can like come with the arrows? Because I mean, really, all he's doing is going to be melting silver coins down into like a pebble,
Yeah,
right?
the bullets
should
can go with the arrows. That's fine.
Sweet.
Yeah.
10 you said, yeah.
Yeah, I said 10.
All right, just marking down on the calendar when those things will be done. Fantastic. Is there anything else you guys would like to do today?
Van will start doing measurements as long as we're just hanging out in town.
Yep. Is there anything else you guys want to do in general, or do you want to skip forward to the day that Croak is meeting with his little thieves?
I do have things I want to do, yeah.
Yeah, aren't we
I'm
going to
just
detect
kind of
magic?
listing them. Sorry, Van.
Oh, it's fine. I was just going to... Do you want to do the detect magic thing? You sneak up on his roof.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the way windows work, right? If he can stand at his window and look down at the street, we can stand in the street and look up in his window,
Yes.
right? So I would just, while Croak is going for his nightly walks that he does in the city, like we'll just stop and have you look up through the window and kind of get a feel for what's up there.
Okay. Let me make sure that detect magic will have enough distance.
I think it does.
It's just that he's on the second story and the street's not that wide, so the angle from which you can see into the building isn't great. Like, you can't get a good view of the depth of
Yeah.
the room.
I can see the auras through the wall,
Yeah.
but I won't know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I will be able to tell you if he has magical things.
But now I have seen the inside, right?
Oh.
And I was taking a good look around. So we don't have to get as good a view as we initially needed, because before I couldn't see them. I hadn't been up inside. So if you can tell me where they are, I can figure it out a little. Also, so these are things Croak is doing. Each night, Croak is walking the streets again, as he was before, and making sure that the guard, like patrols, haven't changed. And he's identifying 2 areas. One, what time of night the guards like aren't around Boren's shop, like immediately outside, and when they're not around a place that's like 10 minutes away, where there's a nice dark alley where I can set up a distraction. And I'm going to be continuing that as I was doing previously. I am going to be visiting Zinli frequently. I want her to feel comfortable leaving that door open normally. I don't want it to be locked when I maybe need to go kill her. And I am also going to purchase a wheelbarrow, a tarp, like a large kind of tarp, maybe just like blanket, really. It doesn't have to be a tarp, just like blanket. a hunter's knife, like a butcher's knife type of thing that you would use to gut and like skin and butcher a deer. I'm going to buy cloth padding like you would in like a pillow or like cotton, and a little bit of string.
All right. How much padding do you need?
I'm thinking about an inch worth.
So not
This is my plan. I'm going to tie the cloth padding to the bottom of my shoes to dampen any sound.
Okay.
And hopefully be more sneaky, right, when I do that. And a little bit of string so I can tie them.
Sure.
Those five
You
things.
can get the string and cotton for a silver. No, for less than a silver. For like 2 copper, probably.
Okay. And then so those 2 things: wheelbarrow, blanket, butcher's knife.
All right. Butcher's knife is going to be like a nice, good butcher's knife is probably going to be about a gold. Maybe no, 2 gold, because a dagger is about 2 gold.
Okay.
So a nice butcher's knife is going to be about 2 gold. A wheelbarrow.
Oh, and some like crab traps, right? Like if you go crabbing, they have those like cages. You can get some of those.
I don't.
It is a port, Neil.
It is a poor. How
Do
long
they not
have
crab?
those crab traps been around? Is that something that people have been using for hundreds of years, or is that a modern invention?
I don't know.
If
Google.
it's something that's
How
been
do
around
they?
forever,
How do
then
they crab? Right, like it's a port town. They definitely crab. If they don't use traps, how do they go about doing it?
I have no idea. My younger brother is a crab and lobster fisherman, so I should know this.
As if.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think it's a pretty old tool. Crab has been a viable food source since Native Americans lived and fished in the Delmarva Peninsula.
Yeah, but I think
I don't know how they crabbed. Right, like I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe we can skip that part. Although, like,
I mean, it is just like a cage, essentially.
Yeah. I feel like you could get it.
it's not essential to the plan, but it would be nice. Butcher's knife, wheelbarrow.
Yeah, that seems like something that could have existed.
Should you roll an intelligence check for society to see if they came up with it?
Well, then we have to decide what society's
Problem is,
intelligence
society
is.
as a collective has like an 8 intelligence.
Yeah, best.
It's just a net nail, like over a wire frame, like or like a an iron frame.
There's no net. It's just a cage. The crabs crawl in and they fall.
It's
and they
it's
can't get back out.
yeah, it's a cage.
Oh, okay.
It's not really a net.
Pretending you don't know anything about crabs.
I don't eat a lot of seafood or any seafood actually.
And I'm looking at a picture one right now that's a net around a wooden frame. But
There are wooden crab traps.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
no,
let's
you know
not
what,
get
that's
hung up on
fucking- yeah.
the traps. That's not that important. It would be nice. It's kind of good. It's fine.
No, I'm looking at wooden crab traps. These look ancient and viable. Yeah, you
There
can
you
definitely get a wooden crab trap.
Okay. Then I buy one of those as well.
Okay, wooden crab traps go for 2 gold.
Okay, 2 gold. 2 gold for the knife.
A
Couple
wheelbarrow.
copper for the cloth and the string. So I need a tarp and a wheelbarrow.
How big?
It doesn't have to be a nice tarp. It could just be like a blanket.
Right,
Like
right.
maybe
Big-
I just take the sheet from my like room.
So toss out a couple of 5 silver for a big sheet, if you want, and a wheelbarrow.
You know what? How big is the trap that I bought?
About 1.5 by 1.5 by a foot.
Give me 2 of those and we'll forget the wheelbarrow.
Okay, done. I have no idea what you're doing, but this is going to be interesting. Padded shoes and crab traps and wheelbarrows. All right. Well, I think we're at our breaking point here. So why don't we take our break, and when we come back, we'll see what the hell it is that you guys are up to, and maybe we'll go do a party. We'll see you guys in a few minutes on the other side of our break. Bye bye.